Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. Welcome back to the HyperX D2L Season 4. Our second best of three on the way. Going to pit Alliance against Mousesports. And this is the home stretch, the victory lap for Merlini, myself, and Conrad, our producer. Our 10th best of three in 36 hours. And I know we've had a lot of you in for most, if not all of it. Thank you guys so much for your support and viewership. And don't forget, it's not like we're going to be taking a hiatus. We're right back in action 7 days a week, every day over the next 2 weeks to knock out our Western schedule here on the HyperX D2L. Ahead of us, Alliance with a win yesterday, improved to 1-0. Of course, most of these teams making a debut. Mousesports, however, was also in action yesterday against Navi. Took a loss there. And right now, Mal's a bit in flux, playing with stand-ins, trying to find their new identity with all of the new faces. We'll take a look at those and how they match up against Alliance right now. Taking a look at Alliance, really, what introduction is necessary? These guys have stuck together, been playing together, and have certainly had, well, I guess you could say maybe they've had some success. Of course, our defending International 2013 champions, the unquestioned best team in the world over the last year. Loda, the leader, the hard carry, the man himself. Of course, Admiral Bulldog, arguably the best off-lane player on the entire planet. S4, that mid, that rock that he always has been and always will be when paired with this squad. Ake, of course, the support jungler, one of the best chins you're ever going to see. And EGM, that missing piece that Alliance slid in 2012 and on through 2013, rather. And that really put them over the top. An absolute all-star team and a tough matchup for absolutely anyone, as Navi actually just found out again in their Dream League match, which just concluded moments ago. On the other side of the river, going to be taking on Mousesports. Some familiar names here as well, some more than others. Synderen, of course, the mid and the captain for Mousesports. If you know Dota 2, you know Synderen. He's been one of those mainstay guys. Wherever he goes, success seems to follow, at least to some degree. Of course, has yet to really have a chance to perform well on the biggest of big stages, but when it comes to LAN experience, when it comes to leadership qualities, doesn't get more thorough than Synderen. Link, the hard carry for this Mouse squad. Link, back when Dota 2 was very new and still in beta, Link was actually a pretty big name and has since kind of fallen out of the public eye a little bit, but nonetheless, the hard carry player, he is an excellent player in his own right, trying to rediscover a bit of his own fame. Ace will be holding down the offlane. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Ace is actually going to be missing again today, so there will be a stand-in. Rise, of course, the support jungler. He's got a lot of professional experience under his belt dating back a year or two ago. And Crit, one of my favorite up-and-comers on the hard support role. A youngster who really knows how to play well, needs some experience, needs some more play under his belt, and is going to get it as a mainstay part of this Mousesports squad today. So the Western Division just getting underway. I'm your host, Aaron A.C. Chambers. Our second play day, and I'll be joined by Ben Merlini Wu as always for the insight and analysis. Once again, guys, welcome into our second best of three of the day. Mousesports taking on Alliance. Alliance going to look to improve to 2-0. Mouse just looking to get a notch in the win column early on and keep themselves from falling into that early hole. Only one matchup, I should say, in our single round robin format, so every match counts. And this one counts especially for Mousesports. We'll find out if they are going to be able to surprise the world or if Alliance is going to continue to do what they do, which is dominate both sides of the river. Coming up next, they're on the HyperX D2L. Stick with us. And we're in. The draft underway, already more than halfway done. Game one set to get going. Mousesports taking on Alliance in our second best of three of the day and our 10th best of three over the last 36 hours. And part of our tandem, of course, Conrad, our producer, has been behind the big wall of monitors the entire time. The guy, though, lending all of his pro insight. Ben Merlini Wu, welcome him in. Once again, I'll tell you what, Ben, I don't think it's a surprise to say that Alliance comes into this match heavily favored. Mousesports, though, I mean, when you're in flux like Mouse is right now, even missing one of their core components at Ace, the stand-in. Unicorn will be playing. Unicorn, a guy that you've probably seen stand in for a number of teams if you've kept up with Dota over the last 6 to 12 months. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team. This is a match where I feel like Mouse really should just work on their mechanics. Not to say they should just take it as a throwaway loss. I mean, they are playing a pretty damn good team in Alliance. But I feel like this is going to be a fun match for us to watch because this Mousesports squad is still trying to find their identity and their cohesiveness.
They do use some novel stuff like the roaming Kunkka, like we saw yesterday. So even if they are coming in as underdogs, they can still learn a lot. They still have to mesh together with Unicorn. I think has been playing for them for a little bit too, so might be a more permanent change in their roster. Still, Mouse team still very new. Cinderin was on old. He's just been everywhere.
Yeah, he has. Basically,
but these 5 have not been together for a long time.
Yeah, it's again when you look at these at this team, you can look back through the history of all of them. Crit, a member of We Has Asian and DD. I mean, a lot of former DD faces basically. Link, a part of that squad for a while. Rise was a part of that squad for a while. Syndrin, of course, part of MTW back in their heyday, and now a part of Mouse, and really finding his place with this Mousesports organization. Great organization for a guy like Syndrin. He's got great leadership capabilities, as experienced as anyone you're going to meet, has been a part of every international since the debut of Dota 2, and now having the chance to develop some young talent in Crit, but also some experienced talent, again, coming out of Link and Rise. A lot of matches played between those two in particular. But taking a look at the draft, we can see Alliance going to go ahead and grab up the Bounty Hunter. Not going to see a Nature's Prophet or a Lone Druid drafted for the Bulldog this time around. They'll snag out the Crystal Maiden and the Windrunner as well. One would imagine that'll be an EGM. Windrunner, tough to tell, though. We've seen S4 take the hero mid a couple of times. Shadow Fiend, though, tends to demand that mid lane. On the side of Mousesports, kind of just stable. I mean, really nothing else to say. The Mirana pickup, you and I have really, on the air and off the air, have had a number of discussions about that hero. Don't hard farm her. Just don't do it. Use her for what she's meant to do. I mean, if she's able to find some farm and build some damage late, consider that a bonus. Don't consider that a game plan. Instead, make use of her inherent skill set. Use heroes like Visage, even the Timbersaw with the slow from Chakram, the slow from Chilling, from Grave Chill to set up Sacred Arrows. Use her Moonlight Shadow to create gank opportunities, so on and so forth. And they're going to go ahead and grab up the Sand King. So a fairly nice balance of, well, I shouldn't say a nice balance, a fairly nice amount of magic damage already being shown by Mousesports. Physical DPS considerably lacking, though.
I like what Mousesports is doing, though. They're just going all out with the early game. And to take down a team like Alliance, you can't get behind. And even if you have it early, you might still lose. But if you get behind early, you're certainly going to lose. So just very strong lanes for them. Decent roaming, too. Looks like Visage will definitely be support. Timberstorm probably in the off lane. They need to draft a strong solo mid for Shadow Fiend, and they also need to roam a lot too, because if they sit complacent, just rest on their laurels, and just try and farm out her first 10 minutes, I think Alliance will win out, because Bounty Hunter is going to hit level 6, Shadow Fiend is going to have free farm, Crystal Maiden a faster jungler than the other people too. So Mousesports has to take the fight to Alliance prior to 10 minutes.
Very much agree, and that's the way you deal with an early game Bounty Hunter as well. What you don't want to do is allow the team with the Bounty Hunter to dictate the pace of the game, to begin to dissect you and use Bounty Hunter's inherent skill set, of course, the game track gold, and allow him to get some items up like a BKB, like drums, those kind of items. Even a mechanism is not super uncommon on Bounty. You'll occasionally see that. Doubt that'll be the case with a Windrunner on the squad for Alliance, but nonetheless, once he gets those items up, he can begin to contribute more in 5-on-5 situations. Early on, when he's level 6, and is just reliant on regen items, on having just boots and a bottle or that kind of thing, maybe a medallion if he wants to have his mana sustainability with a little bit of extra burst DPS from the or burst damage, I should say. I know I can't say deeps around Merlini. He'll call the police on me. But
I say deeps all the time, man.
But yeah, I mean, he's great in that role. But you can abuse a Bounty Hunter pick just by straight up 5-manning as soon as you get all of your heroes to level 6. And I think that jives here. I mean, the BKB on Shadow Fiend is certainly going to be a priority. But until that comes out, a lot of magic damage. I mean, Visage with Soul Assumption, Mirana, Sacred Arrow going to be able to work very well, coming off of a Burrow Strike, coming off of a Grave Chill, coming off of Chakram Slow. So if Mouse is able to get themselves in a decently farmed position and in shape to 5-man early, they're going to be able to abuse Alliance's squad, especially if the Shadow Fiend doesn't have as good a start as he would like. But a Bristleback got to be picked up by Alliance. Only the second time I've had a chance to cast the hero.
probably one of the worst heroes they could draft right now, to be honest. Is absolutely terrible versus Timbersaw because he'll reduce his strength and the pure damage goes through his Bristleback. Bristleback just gets crushed by Timbersaw. Also, he requires a lot of farm and levels, and he's not really that great at dealing with early aggression. He's like okay in triple lanes, but feeding Visage or any other hero, to be honest, Magic 6 charges is not ideal. So Alliance clearly experimenting a little bit. If they were super try-hard mode, they wouldn't pick Bristleback. They would just go with something safe and standard, Alchemist or Viper even. They've been picking a lot of Viper recently. And Storm Spirit will be the final pickup. I don't think it's aggressive enough to deal with the Shadow Fiend early. Unless they have rumors. Sorry.
No, it's I think what it's going to come down to is exactly what you were talking about, except on the other end. Alliance is going to need to pressure Synderen. If Storm's able to farm up fairly well, which, you figure S4 is going to be on the Shadow Fiend, so he'll be farming the SF. Storm's going to have a chance to find his farm early on. Eventually, of course, the damage output will get to be a bit much, but so long as he hits level 6 at a decent clip, he's going to be able to bounce around with this Mouse Squad and got to serve as a great source of initiation. We're going to see Alliance immediately smoke up coming out of the well, though, and make a beeline down to the Radiant jungle. Looks like they're not going to find anyone home, though, as Mouse is moving as a group but heading to the opposite side of the map.
Yep, and could it be a Roshan, actually? Yep, level 1 Roshan. I think he needs Aura if they want to do this. They have the goo to pop the Lincolns. So this is something new that we haven't, or something new that we have not seen yet. I mean, and if they get this, that's going to be really, really good for them. They have 2 salves up on Bristleback. Admiral Bulldog also has a salve, and they have 2 melee heroes too, so he doesn't slam very often, unless they're going to tank with Windrun too. So this is pretty cool strat. Looking at his armor, -3 already and counting. He's out of mana though.
Yep. The first point in the presence of the Dark Lord certainly helping to make the difference here. They've got to suspect something's up. They've yet to see much of anything. The ward is out, so if they decide to check the Roche pit, I don't know if they can get there quick enough. They might be able to if they just ran straight there, but nope, Roche already down, and this is actually pretty damn disastrous for Mousesports. You cannot afford to give a team this big of an advantage whenever you're basically going to be trying to 5-man them quickly, and there it goes. And the early Roshan kill earns our viewers in game a little bit of swag, some items given away, and that's got to be so disheartening. I mean, you see coming out of here, everyone level 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, if they were able to go in there, they'd be able to just absolutely decimate Alliance. But I mean, this kind of thing like only works a couple of times or once in a while, and teams are really starting to pick up. I'm surprised they didn't check out Roshan, but Loda about to get caught with the arrow. Doesn't matter. He has Bristleback, he has Stout Shield, he has Aegis of the Immortal. Are they going to be able to kill him? Crit has boots first, but yeah, Loda's actually out of region right now. He needs to get salved up.
Yep. The Sacred Arrow is actually a little bit misshot and a little bit misplayed by Link. They caught him right here on the steps. With Visage standing here, you had to figure he was going to retreat this way, and he actually shot the arrow as if he was going to run forward. So if he shot it backwards, that should have been an easy first blood, but not the case. Loda's still under a lot of harassment there. Here comes Crit. He's got another Burrow Strike. He's actually going to save it. So playing patient, not wasting that last little bit of mana.
Yeah, they can kill Bristleback though. I mean, he's level 2 and he has a Stout and Ring of Protection, but don't let that fool you. He's still very squishy.
Yep, and that's going to be the Aegis popped. And obviously, if he could have held on to the Aegis a little while longer, that would have been beneficial. But really, the big win there, taking an early Roshan, is so much based on the levels and so much based on that extra little infusion of gold. So they lose the Aegis, but they're not going to feel like that's a big waste.
Yeah, the Visage Illusions actually canceled the salve too. He was at like 200 HP. He only got like 200 HP out of the salve, so that definitely helped. But in terms of experience, no surprise. Huge lead in favor of Alliance, 1500 there. But Rice is trying to pressure them really, really hard too. Crit already got clarity up again. He is heading mid. Shadow Fiend forced to pick up. He has 2 levels of Necromastery. He won't have max rate probably until... Oh, well, Synderen may die here.
Bulldog, is he going to dive it? He is. There's the first blood off of Shadow Rays, and Bulldog tanking the tower. Shot's going to be able to make it away. Here comes Crit with a haste. He's going to miss Bulldog. Only got S4, a couple of right clicks. Should make it a return. Oh, there's the Frostbite from the high ground. Ake with the good rotation. They're going to be able to catch Rise with the Nova. Will they be able to pursue it out? Rise quite squishy at this level. No extra mana for Ake to help out, but the right clicks are there. One more Shadow Rays, make it 2 in a row. And can you say disaster? Giving up
5.5 Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes into the game.
That's a triple kill at 2.5 minutes in, following a level 1 Roshan. And I think it's fair to say this might be the quickest I've ever seen the wheels come off the wagon for a team.
Well, they have 1 kill though.
Yeah,
right?
They managed to track down Bulldog, and that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, this is problematic. Look at Synderen. He's coming up on level 4. He's going to be up against a level 6 S4 in about the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the Roshan advantage is huge. I don't even think that Storm has that big of an edge in this matchup anyways. And then throw in Bounty Hunter coming in, throw in Crystal Maiden coming in, throw in the extra 200 gold, as well as the 1.5 levels to start Loda made that on top.
There's a Burrow Strike, rises there. They're going to continue to just pick off Loda. He's doing good damage with his quills, though. Here comes Bulldog and Ake. They're looking for a target. Do they have any detection for crit? They do not. He's under cover of Sandstorm. Bulldog's going to charge this out, take a look at what he can find. Now, they certainly know exactly where crit happens to be. And, yeah, they're just going to hang out and just say, okay, that's fine. You stay there. And we'll just wait for that to end. And here he comes out. 20-second cooldown on that. They're going to re-engage. Can they get Link? There's the Grave Chill to try and slow it down. And the Arrow, but Arrow only delays the inevitable. Rise next on the list. Here comes Bulldog and Ake forcing Rise back with Loda back in lane. And it looks like Crit.
Crit is cornered by him.
Yep, got tracked down by Loda. Make that 2-5, and things continue to spiral pretty badly out of control for Mousesports.
SF already has power treads in bottle, and 450 gold 4 minutes in. He also has 20 souls. He just picked up his level 3 Shadow Rays, or level 4 Shadow Rays, rather. Oh, Synderen. Oh, man, he was at 240, so even if a big raise had hit, wouldn't have killed him. Unicorn, meanwhile, bottom lane has been pretty peaceful with Bounty Hunter just moving to other sides of the map, EGM, farming it up. This is a solo offlane Windrunner, but that's the thing about Alliance's lineup. They can just move around with whomever they wish.
This is honestly my favorite way to see a Windrunner played. If you could put her in a situation, either isolate her against the solo lane, maybe run an offensive tri-lane, anything like that where she can get a little farm priority early and then fall off after that. Just seeing a Windrunner get up a quick set of phase, a quick Bassy if she wants to go that direction. But more than anything, get up a quick mechanism. Windrunner just such a good mech carrier because she's so innately survivable, not very susceptible to being bursted most of the time so long as her positioning is okay. And
is looking for a kill on bottom.
Let's see. Bulldog looped around. Looks like, yep, he's going to go back under Shadow Walk. He sees Crit, obviously. And going to sneak up behind him, give him a pat on the beaver tail. He thought about it there. There it is, the power shot, plus Janata coming out of Shadow Walk, and Unicorn is going to be enough to force them back. A lot of burst already beginning to show itself as Crit loss basically went from 100 to 25% in a matter of half a second.
Yeah, Loda finding farm up top. He is 1-1, so not the best start, even though he's gotten the Aegis. Link is doing decently in terms of farm 2. Aki narrowly dodges an arrow. Mid looks like they want to kill S4.
Yep. S4.
Storm so close to 6.
S4 is just so huge already. I mean, just truly massive. Now Crit's in trouble. Shuriken toss all he needed. Bulldog isn't even 6 yet, and he's managing to tally kills. That's going to be 2 for him. And just look at that. Shadow Rays. Poor S4. Or poor Rise. S4 with max Shadow Rays already. Already has 1 point into Presence of the Dark Lord and 3 points in the Necromastery.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter with a very nice double Windwalk there. Pop the Windwalk, and then pop the Janata, and then pop the Windwalk again and with the Shuriken. It's actually pretty nice for him because he doesn't actually have to invest in a super early bottle because he has the Arcane Aura, which is very, very useful for just being able to spam Windwalk and keep pressure up around the map. So Crystal Maiden's Arcane Aura, it's not like, oh my gosh, this aura is imbalanced. It's just small things here and there that you notice, and it just improves Alliance's efficiency in controlling the map. Admiral Bulldog trying to get this chicken.
Yep, there's one shot, and it just ran out of haste. And you have to feel for Mouse. I mean, they do manage to pick off a Crystal Maiden, so at least they get something done elsewhere on the map. They just can't catch a break, man. They really can't.
Tough life.
Yep, Synderen being bullied around, still up by S4. Level 6.5 for Synderen, 8.5 for S4 so far, and Mouse is just going to have to start to roam and hope for the best, and that's exactly what they're going to do as they pop the smoke on Crit and Rise. They're moving their way towards mid. They're going to run across a DD on the way.
Admiral Bulldog hasn't even been in lane.
No. Up, here we go. They're going to jump on Syndrome. Bulldog right there on him. He's got him tracked out. There's a crit on the S4, or a crit burrow strike on the S4. They should be able to pick him off, and not before he goes 1-for-1. Ake shows up on the back of the fight. Looks like Syndrome didn't manage to make it away. Crit's going to be dusted out. Bulldog looping around. All he needs is a Janata. Slows there, and Ake with 1 frostbite makes it another kill. Bulldog, level 7 now. He's out of mana, but yeah, this is getting pretty bad pretty quick. We're at about 7,500 gold advantage going the way of Alliance. It's 4-8. The kill score a little bit closer than the gold would ever indicate. They've yet to take a tower, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, Loda they don't even need him, like, ever. EGM rather Admiral Bulldog just putting so much pressure around the map right now with Bounty Hunter. They have to be constantly scared. He's level 7 right now. He hasn't been sitting in a lane at all. He's just finding kills on top, on bottom. Looks like they want to kill Loda. Is he going to be able to get the stun? Nope. Unfortunately, Sand King's only level 4. Looks like a haste route will go to Syndrin.
Off the mark with the Shadow Race. Ake was there, but now he's going to pop it. He's going to turn and try to engage on Ake. S4 is there to hit some Shadow Raises. Syndrin has to be very careful. Bounces back behind crit, and we can see the chunk damage that's already being done by S4. Necro Mastery stacks at 18. They're gonna catch Loda with a burrow strike, and the arrow's gonna be dodged. Here comes help. There's a track on the Rise, and we're gonna see Timbersaw engage on the EGM. In the meantime, Rise will be tracked and killed out, so that's a track kill going to Alliance. They might get EGM. Shackle, not enough to buy time. Link leaps around, and they should get the kill on Unicorn. S4 is there, as is Ake. Has a frostbite in a few seconds, not even gonna need it. Another track kill and a killing spree for S4, and honestly, his BKB is going to come out so ridiculously fast. He's got an Ogre Club, and he's 300 gold away from Mithril Hammer. So you're talking 1,900 or 1,600 gold. He's going to have a BKB up at like 11 minutes, 12 minutes after this tower kill.
Link has not been on the mark with these arrows, too.
No.
If they hit an arrow on Loda, he can't just turn around and man mode in their face. I mean, he would have been hit in the back most likely, but still, you cannot afford to keep missing these arrows, especially when you're this far behind.
Couldn't agree more. And really, this is just good movement. That's the thing. I mean, you're seeing all this happen, and obviously the level 1 Roche a big part of that, and some things have just not gone in Mouse's way. But it's easy to underestimate just how well Alliance is moving to put themselves in the position to make these things happen. They're just utterly dominating in every phase of the game. Just now, the Courier responds. And just noticed, by the way, that had Unicorn's bottle on it. So not only did they get the Courier kill, it was a mid-bottle crow, or a midst bottle crow. Hang on, crit, caught out in mid. There's a Chakram to slow him down. The damage is just too high. Crit ends up dead. Loda taking some damage in the back. There's a Soul Assumption. Going to bounce right off the quills, though. Chakram right there. One good Whirling Death, enough to get the kill. That's going to be a track kill in return, though. Visage summons the familiars, but they're not going to be there in time. Here comes S4 coming along the edge. He'll be able, that's just a free Visage familiar kill, a little extra gold. Here comes Syndrin. He's going to grab Ake. Ake going to be Vortex back. The damage output is so high out of S4, though. And even with Unicorn there, and here's the Requiem. He's going to land it right on Unicorn's face. Syndrin forced to pull back, or he should at the very least. They do manage to clean up the bounty. There's the freezing field, though. Okay, got it off at the last minute. Syndrin tracked out. Will be able to ball lightning away from that auto attack. EGM's right there to pursue him down. Shackle won't latch, but it will buy time. Not nearly enough. There's Moonlight Shadow. Bulldog has no detection. Might have tried to chase him down. EGM's not willing to give up the ghost, though. Crit's right beside him. Looks like finally we'll have a break in the action.
S4 is just doing so much damage right now. His Shadow Rages just absolutely tear Mouse apart. When you're this under-leveled and like fighting at a pretty close choke up here, he just obliterates it. One like triple raise does like 1,800 damage to 2 heroes. That is just insane.
And Syndrin comes in not soon enough to save crit. S4 going to be Vortex. Damage is there. BKB and TP away. Shows him his back. BKB. Shows him his back, just so you can say, nah, we're peaced out. In the meantime, split pushing bottom. Loda trying to bring the tower down. Unicorn response. There's at the Chakra. There's a Shackle that catches him, though. Loda's there, and Bulldog to throw the track out. And the Shuriken will make it another track kill. The track kills are piling up quicker than you can count them at this stage.
We're approaching that 1,000 GPM per minute difference, actually greater than that after that tower. So probably 13,000, and that is just ridiculous. Roshan has respawned too in case they want to do that. Link trying to put pressure on top, but I think his whole team is going to die in the process.
Ake caught out in mid, and there's Syndrin gone. Rise better move. He's going to get the kill on Ake. EGM's there. Shackle will catch crit. Move too far forward. Shadow races from the low ground. There's a track, so no Sandstorm to bail him out. Power shot does damage even through Burrow Strike. Shuriken toss for Bulldog will secure the kill. There you go, another track kill, and I was gonna say it's reaching the stage where there's no reason to even continue this. This is, I don't know, man. We've seen some dominant performances. I said this yesterday about Na'Vi's.
This is the fastest game, I'm pretty sure.
12:26. This is the second fastest game in D2L history. The fastest was Empire versus Team Liquid in Season 3. But even that game is dominant as Empire was taking out Team Liquid back in Season 3. I think this might be the most dominant game we've ever seen in D2L history. 0-8 on Crit's poor Sand King. 4-1 on Lynx. I mean, he managed to tally his kills, but 10-1 on S4. Level 11 at 12.5 minutes in. Level 10 for Bounty. I mean, to put it in perspective, Mirana was level 10, and everyone on Alliance was level 9 or higher.
Good game by Alliance. Bringing back the level 1 Roshan free creep spawn.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's any team that loves to do level 1 Roshan, it is Alliance. So really not a whole lot more you could say, I guess. Just point out the GPM was 736 GPM in a game that was over before 12.5 minutes. I mean, what else could you say? I could ramble on, but I won't. How about we just talk about the stats? 12:26, 12 minutes, 26 seconds, the official game time. 10-20, Alliance doubles up Mouse by the time all was said and done. Game 1 behind us, and Mouse behind in a hurry. I'm your host there in AC Chambers. We're going to be moving into game number 2 of this series coming up very quickly. Stick with us here on the HyperX D2L. Could potentially be our final game of the day. We'll be right back.